Guys, take your time and see how Donald Trump received the document of Biafra for the restoration of Biafra. In fact, as from now upward, there will be no longer a creation of state again, extra state again, called Anioma. There will be nothing like Anioma state again as it stands. Just take your time. Watch how Donald Trump received the document of Biafra and how he's going to be approving it. Just take your time and watch the video. It was actually break down here in the way that you can actually understand it. Just watch.
For big and gigantic news for you. Okay? For news where we say everybody supporting the movement of the USB, the Biafra, or whatsoever needs to pay attention to fully see and to understand. Okay? So how it be? Showing right now on your screen now the 4 gigantic news where we get for you. Yes. The very first news we say we get something on Ngozi Orabueze. She don't call off the proposed Anioma state, a state will be say God's will Akpabio as of yesterday. They give green lights on. The other news we'll get for you be say the brothers to the Kanu, that is Fine Boy Kanu and Prince Emmanuel Kanu and whatsoever, they on a hot seat as we speak. A third news be say it's a shocker coming from the USA and Israel. Yes, there's a news coming from these two countries that you watching this video will never believe can probably come from USA or Israel. We also have a fantastic news on Mazen and the Kanu because the issue of referendum has taken a bold and gigantic step because of him. So with that all out of the way, where should we start this update from? Well, we'll start with the number 1 here. Where we say Ngozi Orabueze has called off the Anioma state. What did they happen? Those as of yesterday, the Senate President in the person of Godswill Akpabio gave a green light, spoke on the possibility of Anioma state and how it's going to be added to the southeast region of the country. Now this way we say you don't go viral, everybody don't see him. But then there are some things you need to know. Yes. This Anioma state, if it's added to the southeast, it's going to be beneficial. It will benefit everybody waiting for southeast. See, it's going to fix southeast state imbalance. It's going to increase Senate and House of Rep members from the southeast. It's going to bring more federal allocation. It's going to strengthen the Igbo unity. It's going to expand economic base and may reduce agitation linked to the Biafran people. So this Anioma state, if added to the southeast region, will benefit you, benefit every single person waiting around this movement. But then, as Godswill they speak of Anioma states, a lady known as Ngozi Orabueze came outside to say, no, we don't want anything like Anioma state. We don't want anybody to take a state where they existing in the Biafra movement. What did she even say? Make her not speak too much. She said, press released yesterday, 26th of March. United States of Biafra people and government hereby informs Nigeria agent Godswill Akpabio and Ned Nwoko that the state of Anioma, with capital in Asaba, is part of the 40 states of the Biafra that was declared in Lahti, Finland on the 29th of November 2024. Any attempts to include the state into the Nigerian state or terrorist APC party project will be resisted. Okay, she continued by saying, like I scroll up a little. Okay, the current governor of the state is Honorable Reverend John Izuugo. Biafrans in the state of Anioma is hereby called upon to give all the support to this honorable and resist the terrorist Nigeria Tinubu state, Ned Nwoko and Godswill Akpabio from actualizing or achieving this particular movement. Well, from the very first glance, when you look at this statement coming from Ngozi Orabueze, who calls herself the Deputy Prime Minister, you go to say she fights for the Biafran people, but she is doing more harm than good. Let me explain. Let me break it down for you. Okay? First thing first, let me make this whole article look very big and gigantic. All the regions in Nigeria, we have 6 geopolitical zones, but all the regions in Nigeria has nothing less than 6 states. Take for instance, this is the North Central. The North Central has what? 7 states. 6 states plus the Federal Capital Territory, making it 7. Okay? Take a look at the Northeast. The Northeast has what? 6 states. Take a look at, let's take a look at this one now. This is the Northwest. The Northwest has nothing less than how many states? 7 states. Now, Southeast. The Southeast has how many states? Count them. Hope you can count, but we have Abia, we have Anambra State, we have Ebonyi State, we have Enugu State, and we have Imo State. How many states is this? This is 5. And other regions has nothing less than 6. Okay, take for instance, see the South. Make I zoom in a little bit. The South has how many states? 6 states. What about the Southwest? The Southwest has how many states? Count them. 6 states. And only the Southeast has 5 states. So, why is this even important? When we come to the issue of referendum, all the geopolitical zones and their House of Rep members will cast their votes. No be you, no be me go vote. People will go vote to choose for referendum or not to choose for Nigeria to be split into two or not, now people from the House of Rep and Senate, now them go vote, not be me and you. And now, if you have 5 states in your region, in your geopolitical zones, it means you are an underdog in this situation. Other regions has 7 to 6 states, you get 5. It means you have less state House of Rep members and all, which is a disadvantage. So for God's will to be saying that, see, let's create a 6 states for the Southeast. People like Ngozi Arabuze should not be against it. We know, say you get your own movement, or you want to actualize Biafra, but everything are brain work. Life na calculation. You cannot use your own gun to kill yourself. As this man don't say he wants to make a 6 states, what you go do is you go keep quiet. Allow them to create a 6 state for the Southeast, then continue with your movement. But to kill off a 6 states, it don't put you at disadvantage because you have 5 states. Hope you guys are paying attention and hope you guys are following. So as it stands, the Southeast has fewer senators. The Southeast has fewer House of Rep seats, lower federal allocation, fewer local government areas, reduced political bargaining power, lower chances in power rotation, perceived marginalization. All of these things, they attributed to the Southeast. And all of the same thing will be emancipated or removed if we have more states in the federation. So Ngozi Arabuze, I beg, if you don't understand Nigerian politics, understand them first before you begin use your own gun to kill yourself. Hope you guys are following. What do you think of what I just show you now? I beg, go down to the comment section and tell me every single thing that you've perceived and how it did be. Now, let's take a look at our second update that we have for you. Now the Kanu brothers are in a hot seat. What did they happen? Well, we all know now the Kanu brothers. We know, say, he has 2 brothers where they're very vocal. Yes, he has 2 brothers. The very first one, Prince Emmanuel Kanu and Kanunta Kanu. These guys they face heavy levels of criticism and backlash. Take for instance, something they show right now on your screen is coming from this user, Biafra. We want you guys to stop sabotaging the IPOB movement. That is not a family affair. You didn't listen. The offense you committed against the IPOB leaders is about to consume your family. Everything under the sun will be exposed. They don't come for the brothers of Nnamdi Kanu. This one on the last tweet released 18 hours ago, coming from an Igbo person. Or this person saying, and today you are helping the same UK and radical Islamists, as you call it, to hold your brother down. You collected millions of dollars to work for the same Britain, the blood of millions of Biafrans that unalive will come against you and your entire generation. Hypocrite. More articles, more backlashing still there. You can read this one if you want to read. All of these things have been addressed to the brothers of Nnamdi Kanu. But this will not help Nnamdi Kanu in any way, shape or form. It will play as a stumbling block for Nnamdi Kanu. See, these are negative effects. If you come for Nnamdi Kanu, if you come for his brothers, automatically you are coming against Nnamdi Kanu and the Biafra movement. See, distraction from the main course or the main case. All this back and forth, they attack Kanunta Kanu and others. It creates distraction. It creates division among supporters, which is very clear. It weakens public sympathy. No countries of the world will want to sympathize with you because your house is already in fire and they seek to quench a fire where they burn for your state. If your home is in fire, quench them first before you plan quench fire where they burn for an estate where your house stay in. So nobody will show you sympathy. It gives authorities negative narratives to use. It reduces unity within the IPOB supporters. So as you can see, the effects, they're very, very massive. And it's very, very clear. So I bet people where they fight the brothers of Nnamdi Kanu, you cannot love Nnamdi Kanu more than his brothers. It is very clear. You cannot love Mazi more than his own brothers and his own family. Even his wife. You cannot love him more than them. And then they share the same blood with him. So use your head when you come from these people. Use your head. Some people too, they come for Uchechi Oku Kanu, which is the wife to Nnamdi Kanu. They come for her. You cannot love Nnamdi Kanu more than her. So calm down. All these things, they create division amongst people, amongst the movement. And it's not good. It can never be good. Now, let's take a look at our third update for you. There's a big shocker coming from the USA and Israel. And I know, say, the USB or Biafra are strong friends or strong ally to the Israel. What did it happen? Well, make I break them down for you. As of yesterday, 1 day ago, we received a notification coming from the UN. What did the UN they talk? It states Israel and USA vote against resolution condemning transatlantic slave trade. Are you guys following? This is coming from the Truth Out international media outlet. capital being used, still post them. US votes no as UN calls slave trade grievous offense and backs reparations. Are you guys following? So it's this whole thing even make I break them down for you. The UN voted on a resolution about the transatlantic slave trade. The resolution declared it is the grievous offense against humanity, called for reparations, compensations, apology, justice to countries where face high levels of slave trade. If you don't understand, make I break them down. So the United Nations held a meeting as of yesterday. Okay? They held a very strong meeting as of yesterday. And countries where they under the UN can cast votes. They casted a vote to vote for or against slave trade will happen back in the time. The UN want make slave trade. Any country partake in slave trade say you go send compensations to the countries where they affected to your slave trade. At the same time, we go make slave trade the highest offense against humanity. I hope you understand what I'm saying. So countries can vote. See the countries will vote in support of them. But 3 countries voted against that move. What are these countries? The USA say no, we no go pay compensations to countries where they are affected to slave trade. Even Israel said the same thing. We no go pay compensation. And Argentina, these 3 countries will partake heavily in slave trades are saying no, we don't want to pay compensations. And they don't want to make slave trade be the highest offense against humanity. What are you guys saying? That is a sad thing to say for USA and for Israel. Now, why they voted against it? We can understand why USA, Argentina, and Israel vote against them. Arguments that slavery was not illegal under international law at that time. So there's no legal basis for reparations today. Concern about it, creating a hierarchy of historical crimes, opening the door for financial legal liability. Now it's Israel they talk, but this doesn't make sense. They are saying that slave trade back in the day was not against international laws. Are you kidding me? So you prefer to buy, if they say buy your fellow human, it is legal. You go rush go buy your brother, or you go rush go buy your sister because it's legal. No, you will not, because of the human feelings and the human intelligence where they embedded in you, which will make you know that A is wrong and B is right. That is why animals, you cannot call yourself a human being when they act like animal. Only animals don't know what they wrong and right in its full sense. But to come see international laws back in the day did not stipulate slave trade as a crime is nonsense. And countries like USA, Israel, Argentina shouldn't be making such statements. You guys must vote for it and pay all restitutions. If it warrants you to pay all the financial legal liability, you must do it, because you guys benefited heavily from the slave trade system and Africa suffered. So you guys must pay. And now I say make I show you what the country of USA they talk, and you know sit well with me in any way, shape or form. Okay, it's the 4th update we'll get for you in this particular. There's a big news on Mazda and the Kanu on the issue of referendum.
Referendum is the only way forward. That is why Africa is poor. Africans must recognize that this is who we are. You cannot live in Lagos if you're an Igbo man during Christmas and start traveling to Sokoto. It's impossible. You must go to Igbo land. You must. That's where you come from. And if they ask you, oh, but you were born in Lagos, you will say, no, that's where my parents come from. They ask your parents will say, that's where my parents come from. They will keep going back until they get to perhaps the 100th generation. That is who we are. And nobody can change it. We are not born on the streets. Some people were born along Ijora or Kota Highway in Lagos. Maybe they are from Urobo. You ask them, where are you from? They say, I'm from Urobo. But I was born in, but this is where I come from. That is who we are. That is why all these useless, idiotic countries created in Africa cannot survive. It can never ever survive. And how do we stop it? Only a revolution can stop it. Only a revolution. If you like, keep postponing it. If you like, keep putting it off forever and ever. Only a revolution can solve this very problem, because under a revolution, the powers that be, those that be making your life a misery, will be overthrown. Nobody will say it's a coup anymore. It is called popular uprising. Don't let anybody deceive you. Don't let anybody deceive you. And that is why today some soldiers are listening and they are resigning from the army. How can you be a soldier in the Nigerian army and your village is being occupied by Fulani headsmen? Imagine those from Oyo or Ondo serving in the Nigerian army. These are my Yoruba brothers who are serving in the Nigerian army. You are from Yoruba, you are serving in the Nigerian army, doing one Nigeria. But your village is being occupied by a Fulani. The same people you are serving, or you claim you are serving, your village is under occupation by them. And to make matters worse, those you are serving under their flag, one Nigeria, and the Arabic inscription, or should I say the motto of Ottoman Danfodio, to tell you how foolish Nigerians are. You don't know that the Nigerian emblem, the army emblem of Nigeria, is the motto of Ottoman Danfodio that he used to conquer Hausa people. You don't know that it is there. That's what they're using. You are fighting under the banner of your conquerors. Maybe in Sambisa forest. And now they are sending their advanced strike force into your village. And you're doing one Nigeria. I'm a Nigerian soldier. I'm a Nigerian army. That is why I commend the 127 soldiers that have resigned so far from the army. If you don't do these things I'm asking you to do, you will, when the time comes, as I'm telling them now, remember 2015, remember 2014, remember 2013, I told you all these things. I told you what was going to happen, and now they have all happened before your eyes. You've seen it. I'm warning you now. If you're serving in the Nigerian army, and you think you're loyal to Buratai, you think I'm serving my Nigeria is not a fatherland or motherland to anybody. Nigeria is not a motherland or fatherland to anybody. Nigeria is purely a British creation. A British creation. Because if Nigeria was to be a nation or country, there is no way those that call themselves the presidency Asoro can come out to support illegality in Ondo State. Because they know they are doing it for that. Why do you think they want to avenge and revenge for Sir Ahmadu Bello? Why? They knew that Ahmadu Bello and his people, so to speak, were fighting for them. They understood that. At the time, the Hausa people thought that the Fulani was fighting for them, but today it's very clear. I asked you a simple question when I began. Are you hearing Hausa Fulani anymore? No, it's only Fulani, because they have taken over the entire corner. That is one thing you need to understand. People must begin to appreciate this. If you are in the Nigerian army and you're serving the Nigerian army, you are only paving the way for the conquest of your village, the rape of your daughters, and the abduction of your mothers. I'm telling you this. You are in the Nigerian army, yes. But what the Fulanis have got in store for you is to overwhelm and to conquer you. The crimes you have in the north, the insecurity you have in the north is as a direct consequence of their own action. They groomed them. Al-Qaeda in the Maghreb, ISIS in West Africa, Boko Haram, Fulani headsmen, bandits, all of them. Who brought them to Nigeria? It's Fulani. Fulani brought them into Nigeria. El Rufai brought them in. Bauchi State Governor brought them in. Are you people deaf and dumb and stupid? When you come out and you pretend, oh, we are one Nigeria, go and show me. Somebody was asking, where is the boundary, where would the boundary of Biafra begin? And I asked the fool, where did the boundary of Nigeria begin? People from Niger come in and go as they like. Most of these idiots are from Niger. They are building a pipeline to Niger. They are building a railway line to Niger. They are building roads to Niger. Whereas where the money comes from, which is Biafra land, we don't have those infrastructure. No, we don't. But you're taking our money. You come to Izombe, you come to Ohaji, you come to Ebema, you come to Aguleri, you come to Ebonyi. You take our resources, sell it, get the money, and now you're building a way to Niger Republic. And you want me to be happy with you? Clap for you. Oh, Nigeria is doing well. One Nigeria. I think you are insane. You come to my land, you take our oil, you take our gas, you take our manpower, you take everything, our VAT, our tax that we pay. You are now building a road from Katsina to Niger, airport in Niger, refinery in Niger. You take oil, crude oil from my land, you take it to Niger, you refine it, you bring it back to me as a refined petroleum, or as PPS as you call it. And you're telling me that that country is viable. You're telling me that Nigeria should be supported. We are in one Nigeria. We are not going anywhere. And you're dying every day. Because those that they appointed to speak for you, they gave them money and positions. So that they will come out on the pages of newspapers to give the world the misleading impression that everything is okay when things are not okay. Go through the statements of Ohaneze and see the contradictions in it. Nigeria is not working. We are marginalized. And then you come back and say Nigeria is one. We must stay in it together. Are you not foolish? These are the useless intellectuals that you have. On one hand, you say Nigeria is not working. You're marginalized. You are being discriminated against. You're suffering. They're killing you everywhere. And you come back to the same place and say Nigeria must be one. Had Nigerians gotten together to say they want to be part of this useless contraption, that's entirely their business. I'm a Democrat, I've subscribed to it. But have you asked yourself this question? Why is it that all those asking you to remain in one Nigeria has something to gain from Nigeria, or they have benefited in the past? Nothing more, nothing less. I saw the letter that Atiku Abubakar wrote to President Biden. In it, Atiku Abubakar said to come and help us fight terrorism, in order to ensure that there will be no regional destabilization. That is their game plan at the US State Department for very many years, until we stepped in. They keep trotting out these lies. Once Nigeria breaks up, there will be destabilization in the entire region. I said it because you don't understand African history. Most of these people are not educated. When I say they say I'm insulting them, no, I'm not insulting you. Most of you are not educated. In Africa, we are tribal creatures in Africa. In Africa, we are tribal creatures in Africa. We always go back to our village where we were born, where our umbilical cord, our long, where it was buried. That's where we come from. That is why every Christmas, Easter, New Year festival, or August meeting, you see us migrating back to where we come from. And I keep saying these things to Africans, they don't understand it. They don't understand it. Everywhere in Africa during Christmas, if you like, be in South Africa, if you like, let it be in Kenya, you let it be in Rwanda, everybody from the capital goes to the village. If you go to Accra, the same thing happens. This past Christmas, if you like, go to Cotonou, go to Yaoundé in Cameroon. Everybody living in the capital cities of Africa, they go back to their villages. They go back to their tribes where they come from. Do they do that in the Western world? During Christmas, these people migrating from, oh, I come from Florida, I'm going to Florida. No, you don't. Because people come from where they are born. We come from where our ancestors were born. That is the difference between black people in Africa and those from Europe and other parts of the world. We come from, so if you ask somebody, where do you come from? He or she will mention their village. That is what makes us Africans. Very, very unique. If you destroy that, you're finished as a people. In Africa, we are tribal. First and foremost, we belong to our tribe where we come from. That is why our people need to appreciate this. Very, very critical. That Africa is restructured to recognize where people come from. All these artificial creations by Europeans, Nigeria, this and that, all that rubbish. That is why you can never ever make any progress for the next 6 billion years. You can never ever make any progress in the zoo. Why is it, if we are not tribal, why would the whole presidency come out, Fulani presidency come out and say, we are defending Fulani headsmen? A presidency of the whole of Nigeria, so to speak. It is because by instinct, we are tribal beings in Africa. That is why Nigeria is unsustainable. That is why the man from Ishekiri has to vote to say, this is where I want to belong to. That is why referendum is the only way forward.
A lot of nations have been founded on referendum. That's what Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and the indigenous people of Biafra were asking for. That led to all this. I'm speaking on behalf of Nnamdi Kanu. I'm also speaking on my own behalf. My name is Aloy Ejimako. I'm the special counsel to Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and the indigenous people of Biafra. And I'm speaking to you from a location in Nigeria. The man, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, is well known. He's everywhere. He's on Wikipedia. He's an internationally acclaimed freedom fighter. But there's just a few things I need to tell you about him. What brought him to limelight was the formation of the indigenous people of Biafra in the United Kingdom in 2012. Simultaneously, he also founded Radio Biafra. And these two organizations were aimed at one thing: liberation for the people of Biafra, or restoration of the former Republic of Biafra that went defunct in 1970. The right to self-determination is a right that is guaranteed internationally, domestically, and continentally. It's within the black letters of Nigerian law at Article 20 of the African Charter on Human and People's Rights. The right to self-determination is guaranteed. So the formation of IPOB did not break any law. Not laws of United Kingdom, not international law, not Nigerian law. But guess what? When Mazin Nnamdi Kanu, who was born in Nigeria, but who acquired British citizenship later on, came to Nigeria in October 2015, the government of President Muhammadu Buhari, which had come to power in May, decided to arrest him. He was not arrested between 2012 and 2015 because the government of the day at that time understood that self-determination is not a crime. But the government that came into power in 2015 in May decided that self-determination is going to be treated as a criminal activity. So he was arrested in Lagos. He was charged for treason, also for insulting the president and illegal importation of ready equipment. 3 charges. The treason one, they split it into 2, treason by himself and treason by conspiracy. This thing went on from 2015 until April 2017, when he was eventually granted bail. So he was detained for nearly 18 months. After granting him bail, he returned to his ancestral home in the southeastern part of Nigeria, and he was enjoying his bail when suddenly, between 10 September and 14 September 2017, the Nigerian army, without any justification whatsoever, levied lethal, massive military operations against Mazin Nnamdi Kanu's ancestral home. That day, he was sitting at home with so many people, his family members, including his 2 elderly parents. The attack was lightning, it was a bleakridge, it was massive, and it was not the type of an attack you will expect a national military force to levy on a civilian location. But they did. At the end of the day, 28 people lost their lives. Mazin Nnamdi Kanu sustained injuries. His parents sustained injuries as well, but somehow, by the grace of God, they all managed to escape. From there, the rest is history. And because there was a national and international manhunt for him by the security forces, which rules of engagement was to shoot, not to maim. If you see Nnamdi Kanu, if you encounter him anywhere, shoot not to maim. Not to maim, but shoot to kill. That's what they went there to do on 10 September, but they didn't succeed. But it went on. They went on in a manhunt. So Nnamdi Kanu was forced to flee the municipal boundaries of Nigeria in search of safe haven overseas. Eventually, in May 2021, he settled in Kenya. He entered Nairobi and settled in Kenya somewhere. He never knew that Nigerian security forces, the international branch of it, were laying in wait for him. They laid an ambush for him. So on 19th June 2021, he drove himself to Jomo Kenyatta International Airport on a personal errand. As soon as he drove into the parking lot and alighted from his vehicle, several well-armed security men suspected to be of a mixture of Nigerian and Kenyan security forces swooped on him, grabbed him, abducted him, and put him forcibly in a vehicle and drove away. Well, they didn't take him to the police station. They didn't take him to immigration because he was a foreigner. He should have been taken to immigration. They didn't take him to any official law enforcement facility. They took him to a secret location in Nairobi, a non-official secret location. So in effect, they disappeared him. And they kept him at that secret location for a whole 8 days. And those 8 days he endured horrendous torture. All these are matters of record between the various tribunals and courts before whom this matter has been brought. I cannot begin to give you all the details. Horrendous torture in violation of basic human rights, in violation of the laws of Kenya, Nigeria, and the international community. When Nnamdi Kanu was abducted on 19th June 2021, the proper thing that should have been done is to take him to a police station, from there to a court. And then if you wanted him back in Nigeria, you subject him to what is called extradition proceedings. This is a basic tenet of the law that you see in the laws of any nation. Kenya has an extradition act to which Nnamdi Kanu should have been subjected. But guess what? They didn't do that. They rather disappeared him for 8 days, tortured him to their heart's content. And on 27th June, they secretly brought him out from this location and took him through the back doors, evading Kenyan immigration, direct to the tarmac of Jomo Kenyatta International Airport, Nairobi, where a private plane was waiting. They bundled him into the plane, chained him to the chair, and everything. He endured 5-6 hours flight from Nairobi to Kenya in the most excruciating circumstances. They arrived in Nigeria late in the evening and the plane flew back to Nairobi. They took him to the headquarters of the National Intelligence Agency in Abuja, where he spent the first night with all the lights left on to assure his maximum discomfort. The following day, they transferred him to the headquarters of Directorate of State Security in Abuja. And on the third day, they brought him before the Federal High Court in Abuja. The Federal High Court was well aware that Nnamdi Kanu has counsel of record. It was an open case, it wasn't a new case, a pre-existing case. But the Federal High Court decided to conduct the arraignment in violation of his constitutional right to counsel. And that arraignment led to the indefinite detention with which we are struggling today. Anyways, taking you back a few steps, the little military invasion of 2017 was not unrequited, judicially speaking. I took the matter before two tribunals, or a tribunal and a court. First, I took it to the African Commission on Human and People's Rights, which rendered a decision in March 2018 condemning the action and calling it a violation of the African Charter. And they wrote to the President of Nigeria, they wrote a letter to the President of Nigeria requesting him or directing him. They used diplomatic language, but the decision was there that what you did is wrong, so you need to roll it back. You need to reverse everything you have done, which includes declaration of IPOB as a terrorist organization and hounding their members as criminals. The African Commission held that what Nigerian government was doing was persecution, not prosecution. That the IPOB and its members simply possess an inconvenient political opinion which the Nigerian government was seeking to suppress by means of punishment of some sort. And they asked or directed Nigerian government to reverse itself. Nigerian government never did. Rather, it escalated. Well, subsequently, I went to a local court, a high court in Abia State in eastern Nigeria. I sued the Federal Republic of Nigeria, the Nigerian Army, and other parties who were Confederates in that attack of September 2017. And in January 2022, Fortunately for us, we won. The High Court made an order. The High Court reached a judgment that what happened to Nnamdi Kanu in September 2017 was a flagrant violation of his constitutional right to life and constitutional right to his privacy. And the court proceeded to make an order ordering the federal government of Nigeria or Federal Republic of Nigeria to pay him a compensation of 1 billion Nigerian naira, which is over $1 million US dollars. The court also ordered the Federal Republic of Nigeria and the President of Nigeria to issue a public apology to be published in 3 national Nigerian newspapers to Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. None of this has happened. So we kept that aside. So when they brought Mazi Nnamdi Kanu forcibly from Kenya without extradition proceedings, I characterized it an act of extraordinary rendition. Initially, there was a misunderstanding, a broad, widespread misunderstanding by vast majorities of Nigerians who were mouthing the cliche, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu extradited from Kenya. No, that was wrong. He wasn't. I told people he wasn't. He was extraordinarily renditioned or rendered, and that is against international law, Kenyan law, and laws of the Federation of Nigeria. So while his criminal trial was making its way slowly at Abuja, with all the several amendments the government was bringing, they walked away from treasonable felony, insulting the president, importation of radio equipment, and bam, to terrorism. That's how it happened. And they did this 7 times. 7 amendments. If Nnamdi Kanu was guilty, why is it taking so long to bring him to trial between 2015 and today? That is 8 years. So what he's undergoing is not really a judicial trial. It's a trial by ordeal. Trial by fire. Imprisonment before conviction. They just want to get as many years of jail time out of him as possible, because they know that with the evidence available, conviction will be impossible. And that was made worse by the extraordinary rendition, which I took also as a civil violation to a federal high court in Nigeria. And in October 2022, the Federal High Court came down with a judgment that extraordinary rendition was a violation of his constitutional rights, his fundamental rights, and they awarded him 500 million Nigerian naira. That's about $800,000. So all around, everywhere that this matter has gone to, including in July 2022, before the Human Rights Council at the United Nations. The Human Rights Council, United Nations, came down with an opinion that what happened to Mazi Nnamdi Kanu in Kenya and that brought him to Nigeria is a very grave violation of international law. And they directed that he should be released unconditionally. And of course, the Court of Appeal in Nigeria did come down with a similar judgment in same October 2022, discharging Mazi Nnamdi Kanu of all charges and bearing any further trial of his person in any court in Nigeria as a consequence, as a direct consequence of the extraordinary rendition. So what more can you ask for a man to deserve his freedom? How many have I counted? United Nations, which in this case should be considered a world court. Then you have the Nigerian Court of Appeal, which is the second highest court in the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Then you have the Federal High Court, which is the court of first instance at the federal level. And of course, you have the State High Court that awarded him 1 billion Nigerian naira. So between 2015 and today, 8 8 years and running, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu has snagged 4 major victories against the Federal Republic of Nigeria, with Federal Republic of Nigeria winning nothing. What more do you need as stark evidence, affirmative evidence that what is happening here, ladies and gentlemen, is an act of persecution, not prosecution? It's time to end it. On his behalf, I will ask all men and women of goodwill everywhere in the world to speak up. There was this saying about Jews. When they came for the Jew, you said nothing. When they came for the Jew, you said nothing because you're a trade unionist. Then when they came for the trade unionist, you say, well, I'm a scientist. You said nothing. They took the Jew, they took the trade unionist. And then when they came for the scientists, nobody spoke for you. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is a poster boy for all the injustices that a great race, the Igbo people, and their cousins in the former eastern Nigeria have been subjected to since the founding of Nigeria. These injustices became more public because since 2015 they have been escalated. So how do you fight back? You fight back by telling the system, I want out. I want my own country is not a crime. It does not require a bullet. It doesn't require muscular military law enforcement. What it requires is sitting across the table and talking about it. A lot of nations have been founded on referendum. That's what Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and the indigenous people of Biafra were asking for. That led to all this conundrum, to all this saga.
Letting Biafra to go now be the best solution to Nigeria problem, because when they leave Biafra, Biafras are ready to accommodate anybody will be say they need to accommodate. If you look at the way we say don't they for this country, go see say things are not working well until they do the right thing. Because Tinubu don't fail to know say Tinubu know truly well say Mazi Nnamdi Kanu no do anything. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu no do anything. Only way to Mazi Nnamdi Kanu do now just to talk say make you allow my people to go. We are not one in this country. That's true. Anybody where they talk say let's try to be united, it can't be possible. Even though you bring Igbo president, it can't work. Waiting go they happen, go still they happen. So the best thing for government now make they just divide this country, make everybody just go relax, have their own country, manage their own little resources. You will see there will be competition. Like what this guy just said initially. There will be competition. You will see say everybody go just they try to make sure say they do better than this the other country. You will see say competition go there between the North and the Yoruba and the Igbos. So that's the best thing. We have all the whole mineral resources where we get to be the best in the whole world, but they use them, they enjoy themselves, they enrich themselves for their own pocket. That's nonsense. Just imagine. Now all these things where Mazi Nnamdi Kanu they talk, everything where Mazi Nnamdi Kanu don't give as prophecy don't come to pass. Everybody don't attest to them. Even the government of the day know the truth. But to acknowledge that fact is difficult for them because of their selfish interests. I don't blame even the governors where we say where they follow they even cause this. Because if they come out in one voice, push their agenda, press Tinubu neck, press any presidency neck, because they will just release Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. But they don't look and say to what benefit will be say it will take benefit them. Because once Mazi Nnamdi Kanu come out, anybody will be say in talk say he no go be governor, he no go be. Oh my goodness. Well, I don't go just talk much and I don't hear everything. I go one make una share una own thoughts at the comment section. Don't forget to click the subscribe button for more updates. Drop your opinion at the comment section. Thank you, my lovely people.